I don't understand one thing. When here is the inconscient and here is the superconscient, we have now reached consciousness, a sort of consciousness. So some of the potencies have already manifested into this present consciousness, isn't it?
Both in the superconscious and the inconscience. And it is they are watching our progress. Our means here the progress of evolution, the march of evolution. How the evolution is unfolding is what it means. Presently the evolution has come to a middle stage, interregnum. Our consciousness is a representation of the middle stage at which the evolution has arrived. Now, but then that is not the end of the evolution. Evolution has to go on. Now, how that evolution will go on? Because there are potencies working, there are potencies which are pushing up the air. They have to come, open out from below. They have to work from above again and again. So, it is not we, it is the process of evolution which is being really watched by these various potencies.
That's right. But already some of these potencies are manifested now. Otherwise, we wouldn't have had world.
No, but that is an internal process. Potencies have been constantly manifesting. There was nothing, matter has come. There was nothing, life has come. There was nothing, mind has come. So they are constantly manifesting. So like that, like that, because there is a potency of matter in inconscience. Therefore, matter has come into a manifestation. There is a potency of life into inconscience. Therefore, life has come into existence. Until that. So, the potencies are inherent, inconscience is full of those latent possibilities. Unless there is life in inconscience, life cannot emerge out of nothing. It is that which is there. Same way, because there is the presence of supermind in inconscience, that it can really come out of it. Otherwise, where from it will come? It is not out of nothing that the supermind will come. It is already present there. It has to open out. It has to come into expression. Now, that is the process of evolution which is going on. So, at the one extreme, you have got this Corinth. At the other extreme, you have got the Athens, you see. And the march has to go on. So, this force which is driving here, the spirit's potencies are present now everywhere. The force which is driving here, that is what will come later on, you see. It is the force of evolution which is driving things forward. Basically, what he is telling you, he is giving a static picture. Yes, there are things present here, there are things present here. And he is giving the entire description of these things which are present in every place here. How they will come into the dynamics of expression, that will come through the power of the force, by the work of the force, which is active. The force of evolution. It is that force of evolution which will bring them out into expression. So, it is not we in that sense. We is a small example, is a kind of a point of talking. Here, it is the entire course of evolution which is being presented here. Evolution started from nothing. The one end of evolution is this, the other end of evolution is that, and keep on opening. You see. We are that way, nothing in the whole process, you see. Yet, as he says in that line, your individuality, if you identify yourself with the will of God, then your true force comes out. The true force of the individual comes out when you identify with the will of the eternal. It is that which you have to acquire. Our true individuality lies in acquiring that identification with the Eternal's will. Then, when you identify yourself with the Eternal's will, then your true will blossoms out, flames out, blazes into it. In fact, that is one of the most wonderful things which Mother has done. When she is working on the cellular transformation, she says, what thou willest, Lord, succor to will, succor to will, succor to will. What you will. In other words, her will now is totally identifying itself with the Supreme's will. what greater realization, greater achievement can be than that at the cellular level? Mother is establishing that identification of the will of the cells with the Supreme's will. Ultimately, it is the Supreme's will which will work, not the will of the cell. But here is an opening, here is an ardent prayer, a genuine prayer, a truth force is there in the prayer, and that will get answered. So, Mother Sadhana has really gone to such an extent that even at the level of the cell's will, she is identifying it with the will of the Supreme. There cannot be any greater success, any greater achievement at all in the course of evolutionary manifestation, you see. We have not really developed that perception of things in our achievements, in our activities like that, you see. That we identify ourselves. First, we have to discover our own soul, and then on the basis of that soul, then move forward, identify then with the Supreme's will. Then you can assert what you want to achieve in this life. Until then, you don't have any individuality at all. You are a slave of nature, and you are constantly then driven by nature alone. And we say, I am a free man, I am a free woman. We are not. We are bound by nature. We are bound by nature, see. But when you identify yourself totally with the soul, when the soul has come out fully into expression, and when it is in a dynamic movement, then if you identify with the will of the Supreme, then the progress in the sunlit is in the words of the sun, not in the words of ignorance at all, you see. The Supreme's will, well, it's good to talk about that. But ultimately, it all depends upon how much has come out, you see. Yeah, see, in fact, that way this whole description is a very wonderful kind of description, very rich description, you see. And so elaborate, he has not left anything to our imagination. He has explicitly stated. You see, he is talking about day and night, alpha and omega, all these things, many times, repeatedly, he is hammering into you, he is hammering into you. These are the two extremes, and things are moving between the two extremes by the power of evolution, you see.
And these potentials are impersonal?
Pardon me?
These potencies.
Potencies.
They are impersonal or they are gods?
No, they are cosmic, they are universal.
Cosmic?
Yeah.
But no name, no...
No, not your and mine. Your and mine will come out when I identify myself with them. They are, this is basically this is the course of evolution which is presenting. The course of evolution. The evolutionary process of manifestation, these are the aspects which he is presenting here. See. Essentially, he is talking of evolution. Evolution has come to a certain point, and then things have to move onward. See, individual sadhana is different. This is now basically this is concerned with the cosmic, with the evolution. Rather, you can say, of the soul of the earth. Of the soul of the earth.
Soul of the earth.
Ah, you can talk with that. It's not your soul, my soul, the soul of the earth, you see.
Bhu Devata.
Bhu Devata, that's right, yeah. Well, I don't know whether I will call Bhu Devata.
Yeah, no, okay, yes, I understand.
What I'm trying to say, I understand what you are saying, I understand. What I'm saying is basically, Devata or gods or goddesses, they don't have psychic being. They don't have psychic being, you see. So I will say Bhu at the most. I will say Prithvi. Prithvi. Prithvi is one. The word Prithvi means which expands, which grows. Bhu also means which grows, which expands in the spiritual sense, in the sense of its psychic growth. Bhu is the growth. Bhu means stand. In fact, the eternal, the Supreme Himself is called Bhuma, one who keeps on expanding, growing, you see, Bhuma. And Bhu is the earth, name for the earth, who expands. Now, how does she expand? Through evolution. Vardhan, Prithvi. So, it is not the aspect of goddess, it is the aspect of the spiritual content in it, the psychic being which is really growing. Well, that is one way of looking at it, you see.
Why you are discussing? It's not the God. He said in the self. He said in the wide ether of the self.
Yeah.
The spirit's potency.
Of the
There
spirit.
are the potency of the spirit in the self. It's not in a
The
love.
self is a divine.
In the self. The capital self.
There.
Voila, here.
In the wide, signless ether of the Salem, in the unchanging silence, white and nude, aloof, resplendent like gold dazzling suns, you see, the potencies, plural. Veiled with the ray of mortal eye can see the spirit's free and absolute potencies burn in the solitude, means they remain, they are not, solitude means they are there present, they are not come into expression. They are not come into expression. They are not found companions so far into expression, you see. There is one potency here, there is one potency here, there is one potency here. But then the dynamics of the potencies has not manifested in time, the process of manifestation.
They could become gods.
They will become more, exactly. Yeah. Solitude, in that sense, solitude means God is thinking, they are there in His mind, they are not come into expression. In other words, the whole design, the whole scheme of evolution is already present in the mind of God. It is already present in the mind of God. And these are the thoughts, ideas burning in His mind, like cells. These are the potencies of spirit.
Now he has to really pull
Now-
us out of this
No,
mess.
either pulled or not, they have to develop, they have to evolve, they have to emerge. They have to emerge. They have to emerge. They have to emerge. Now, how that emergence will, whether pulling means somebody else is coming and pulling. It can be even from below also.
But we are screeching. It is really a game, like so much destruction.
Yeah.
So much, the earth is really under threat right now from so many different angles.
No, forget about us. It has nothing to do with human being. This is
Earth as such,
Yeah.
mankind is really destructive right now.
yeah.
Really.
See, this is entirely in the context of evolution, as I was saying. There are potencies in the entire creation.
Sure.
See, rather I will even say, we have come up to a certain point. But the moment the void appeared, when the four powers separated themselves away from their source, and the void appeared, means the involution has taken place, and now there has to be the beginning of evolution. Now all that thing is already in the mind of God. He is involving, He is evolving, all the things is already there in the mind of God, because those potencies have to come into expression. So this is on a totally different level, occult level altogether. You see. It has nothing to do with our ways. Now what he says is basically that this is the idea behind God's creation. And then he says, look, well, this is how it is happening. This evolution has now come up to a certain point, a consciousness which is an interim consciousness of man or the mental being, and that is not the end of it. There is something below, above, and all that thing, they have to come out. So he is now, with reference to the status of evolution, he is talking now what is going to happen in future. The status of evolution is that the evolution has come to the point of mental evolution. Manomaya Purusha has appeared, but Manomaya Purusha is not the end of evolution. It has to go to Vijnanamaya Purusha, to the Gnostic being, until that. So those potencies are already present. Those potencies are already present. So he is giving a kind of a metaphysical picture of the entire process of evolution. It is a metaphysical presentation of the things, the way the evolution is moving, is going on. In the wide, silent ether, the self and unchanging silence, white and new, hello, resplendent, the gold dazzling sun, veiled by the ray, no mortal eye can bear. The spirit is free and absolute potencies burn in the solitude is all gone. See, they are of course free, but then they are absolute. Nothing can beat it.
Nothing can.
No, they have exactly. Absoluteness is there, that firmness is there. Absolute potency. It's not just potencies.
There is no obstacle possible.
Nothing, yeah. They have to happen. They are absolute. They are complete by themselves.
This is what we do call the idea,
Idea. You can even say this is the real idea. Real idea.
Inevitable.
This is a real idea, exactly. Yeah, this is the real idea. You see.
And we are seeing just a segment of some
Real idea. He equates. It is real idea is his supermind. Real idea is supermind, or in the Indian yogic terminology, it is prajna consciousness. Prajna consciousness. Comprehension. Prajna consciousness. So these are absolute potencies. Nobody can spoil them. You see.
So we can trust this.
Because see, they in a way it is redundant. In a way that absolute is redundant. The moment you say that spirit's possibilities, it means that there is a kind of an absoluteness of the spirit in those possibilities. But he is making it explicit here. See, the moment you say spirit, then free and absolute is not necessary. Metaphysically. Yeah, spirit, yeah, you see, spirit. But he is making kind of explicit here. The spirit's potencies, the moment you say spirit's potencies, they had to be free and they had to be absolute. Otherwise, they are no more. Otherwise, they are no more spirits.
It's good to be reminded of this.
Yes.
And this is divine omnipotence.
Yeah. See, by making it clear, by free and absolute, by stating it so, he is interiorizing his sentence, the spirit's potencies. He is interiorizing the spirit's potencies. They are kind of getting sunk deeper into us. That is the power of poetry, power of expression. So, this is a wonderful sentence, 6 lines, but very powerful. In the wide, silent ether, the sun, in the unchanging silence, white and dew, hello, resplendent, the gold dazzling sun, veiled with a ray no mortal ear can hear. The spirit's free and absolute potencies burn in the solitude of God. Burn in the solitude the thoughts of God.
Burn.
So,
Burn.
yeah, blazing, full of intensity, because they are spirit's potencies. Because they are spirit's potencies, you see.